That day started out just like any other. A quick trip to the supermarket for a few things. That's all she had planned. The aisles were busy, filled with the usual sounds of shopping carts and casual chatter. She was focused on her list, ticking items off one by one when she heard it. A small, muffled sound, almost lost in the noise. It was the sound of a child crying. She paused, looking around. There, near the end of the cereal aisle, sat a little girl, no older than 5. Her tiny shoulders were shaking, her face buried in her hands. She was all alone. Other shoppers passed by, some giving a fleeting, concerned glance, but no one stopped. The girl's sobs were quiet, but full of a despair that pulled at her heartstrings. Something inside her, a powerful, instinctual urge, told her she couldn't just walk away. She left her cart and slowly approached the child, kneeling down to her level. "Hey there, sweetie. Are you okay?" she asked softly, trying not to startle her. The little girl looked up, her big blue eyes swimming with tears. She shook her head, unable to speak, and simply pointed down the aisle. The woman's heart ached for her. "Did you lose your mommy?" The girl nodded, a fresh wave of tears spilling down her cheeks. "It's okay. We'll find her," she promised, her voice full of a confidence she didn't quite feel. She looked around, searching for a frantic parent, but saw no one. She took the little girl's hand, which felt so small and trusting in her own. "My name is Sarah. What's yours?" The girl sniffled, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. "Lily," she whispered. Sarah smiled warmly. "That's a beautiful name. Lily, let's go find your mom together. She's probably looking for you right now." She guided Lily to the front of the store, towards the customer service desk. Every few steps, she glanced down, offering a reassuring squeeze of the hand. She asked Lily what her mom looked like, what she was wearing, trying to gather any clue that might help. But Lily was too distressed to offer much detail. She just kept repeating, "I want my mommy." Sarah's mind raced. Where could the mother be? Had she just stepped away for a moment? Or was it something more serious? She tried to keep Lily calm, talking to her about her favorite cartoons and what kind of cereal she liked best. Slowly, the little girl's sobs subsided into hiccups. When they reached the customer service desk, Sarah explained the situation to the employee. An announcement was made over the store's intercom system. "Attention shoppers, we have a lost child named Lily at the front of the store. If you are the parent or guardian of Lily, please come to the customer service desk." They waited. 1 minute passed, then 5, then 10. The hope in Lily's eyes began to fade, replaced by a new wave of fear. Sarah felt a growing unease. A parent would have heard that. A parent would have come running. Why wasn't anyone coming for this sweet little girl? She held Lily a little closer, trying to shield her from the curious stares of other shoppers. She started telling her a story, a silly tale about a magical squirrel who lived in a grocery store. Anything to distract her. The store manager came over, a concerned look on his face. "We've made the announcement 3 times now. No one's come forward," he said quietly to Sarah. "We've called the police. They're on their way." Sarah's heart sank. The police? This was getting more serious than she'd ever imagined. She looked down at Lily, who was now quietly listening to her story, her head resting against Sarah's arm. A fierce sense of protectiveness washed over her. She wouldn't leave this child's side until she knew she was safe. Just as the manager finished speaking, a woman came running towards the desk, looking frantic. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was in the restroom. I didn't hear," she began, out of breath. But then she stopped. She looked at Sarah, then at Lily, and her expression changed from panic to confusion. Sarah thought this must be the mother, a wave of relief washing over her. But Lily didn't run to the woman. Instead, she hid behind Sarah, clutching her leg tightly. The woman looked at Lily, then back at Sarah, a strange look in her eyes. "Oh, you found her," she said, her tone oddly flat. "Thank you." She reached for Lily's hand, but Lily pulled back, shaking her head. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. A mother's reunion should be filled with hugs and tears of relief. This felt cold, staged. Sarah instinctively put a protective arm around Lily. "She seems a little scared," Sarah said carefully, her eyes narrowing slightly at the woman. "She's been very upset." The woman forced a tight smile. She can be shy with strangers. Come on, sweetie. Let's go. She tried to pull Lily again, more forcefully this time. No! Lily cried out, burying her face into Sarah's leg. At that moment, 2 police officers walked through the automatic doors. The store manager immediately motioned them over. The situation was explained to the officers. The woman insisted she was Lily's mother, that her daughter was just being difficult. But the officers, seeing Lily's terrified reaction and Sarah's protective stance, were cautious. One officer knelt down to speak to Lily gently, while the other asked the woman for her ID. As the officer spoke with the woman, his partner asked Lily, "Is that your mommy, sweetie?" Lily, feeling safe with the officer and Sarah, shook her head vehemently. "No," she said, her voice small but firm. Mommy has shiny hair." She pointed a tiny finger at a picture on a magazine cover near the checkout. It was a picture of a famous actress. Sarah's heart twisted. Was the child confused? The officer, talking to the woman, suddenly straightened up. "Ma'am, the name on this ID doesn't match the name you gave us. Can you explain that?" The woman's face paled. She started to stammer, her story changing. The facade was crumbling, and then the second officer's radio crackled to life. A voice came through, reporting on a car abandoned in the parking lot, a car that had been reported stolen earlier that day. Inside the car, they found a purse, and inside the purse was a driver's license belonging to a woman who had been reported missing 2 days ago, along with her 5-year-old daughter. The missing woman's name was not the name this woman had given. The missing child's name was Lily. The entire store seemed to fall silent. Everyone who had been watching now understood. This woman wasn't Lily's mother. She was her kidnapper. The woman who claimed to be a mother was an accomplice, trying to retrieve the child after her partner had panicked and abandoned her in the store. The cold realization washed over Sarah like an icy wave. She had been standing face to face with evil, protecting a child she didn't even know. The woman was quickly taken into custody. The store, which had been a scene of quiet tension, erupted in hushed, shocked whispers. Sarah knelt down and pulled Lily into a proper hug, holding her tight. The little girl finally let go, sobbing with relief into Sarah's shoulder. She had been so brave. In the days that followed, the full story emerged. Lily's real mother was found safe. The abduction had been a terrible, opportunistic crime. For Sarah, life was no longer the same. She was hailed as a hero, but she didn't feel like one. She just felt like she had done what anyone should have done. She had listened to her heart. She visited Lily and her mother in the hospital. The moment Lily saw her, her face lit up with a brilliant smile. She ran into Sarah's arms, a hug filled with pure, unadulterated gratitude. Lily's mother cried, holding Sarah's hands and thanking her over and over. "You saved her?" She wept. "You saved my whole world." That day, Sarah walked into a supermarket for groceries. She walked out having changed the course of a family's life, and her own. It was a powerful, humbling reminder that sometimes the most profound moments in our lives don't come from grand plans. They come from a simple choice: to stop, to listen, and to help someone in need. An act of kindness, no matter how small it seems, can ripple outwards, changing everything. Thank you so much for watching this incredible story. If it touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. See you next time.